Good evening, future West Rocks Panthers and your families. Thanks so much for joining us tonight for our 5th to 6th grade virtual open house. I know it's not quite the same as being in the school. However, this does allow us to interact with you guys. It's pretty convenient, I think, for you to be in your homes and to allow us to record it, and we can share it, and we will post this at the end on our website for those families who are unable to watch and join us live, but we'll be able to refer to it later. So it will be posted on our website under this, using this YouTube link, and it'll be under for families, just like this link is found for tonight. So have no fear, and if people ask, feel free to share that idea. As I indicated before, just as we were getting started, we will take questions. If you want to take a look on the YouTube chat on the side, and people have already been using it and communicating, so I know you know how. If you want to utilize that function throughout the night, Miss Amaral, and I'll introduce us in just a second, is going to monitor. She's our assistant principal. She's going to monitor that throughout the night. Some of the questions she'll be able to answer right off the bat, and if it's repeated, she may bring it to our attention, whoever's sharing, and either we'll answer it in the moment because we have a slide on it, or at the end before we wrap up, we'll be able to answer those questions. So first, my name's Adam Reynolds. I am the principal at West Rocks, and I'm finishing my 4th year. And next year, when you guys join us, I will be in my 5th year here at West Rocks. So let me share my screen. All right, so I'm going to just get us started. Welcome, like I said before, to the 5th and 6th grade open house for this year. If you'll notice on the bottom of that, it says, welcome class of 2029. Some of you probably know where that is. Some of you may say, wait a second, that's 7 years from now. How could I be a class of 2029 when I'm going to West Rocks and I'll be in 6th grade? I'm not going to be there for 7 years. And you're right, but you are considered the class of 2029 because you're going to have 3 years at West Rocks, and then you'll have 4 years in a high school of your choice, whether that be Norwalk High School, whether it be Brian McMahon, PTech, CGS, or any other school that you apply to and go to. So 3 years at West Rocks or a middle school, and then 4 years at high school. That's 7 years, and you'll be graduating with your high school diploma in 2029. Amazingly enough, it goes quickly. So our first step is graduation, or moving on, or stepping up from grade 5 into grade 6. And that's what you're going to do starting at the very end of August, beginning of September at West Rocks. So first, I'm just going to introduce a few people. My name is Dr. Reynolds. I'm the principal, as I said before. Mrs. Amaral, who you'll hear from. Oh, there she is, just popped up. She's our assistant principal. Miss Sable is our Alpha House leader. She's also our 6th grade ELA teacher. Miss Walters was unable to join us tonight. She's our Beta House leader. She's also a reading teacher and reading coach. Miss Sarah Golding is our Delta House leader. She also is a music teacher, chorus, and drama club director, as well as broadcast journalism, and she is behind the scenes tonight, so she's multitasking. Our counselors, Miss Simone, Miss DeCerbo, and Mr. Amaya. We have 3. You're going to see Miss DeCerbo, who's in green on the screen, and she just showed up on the bottom. She is highlighted because she is our 6th grade counselor next year. So all 6th graders will have Miss DeCerbo, and many of you met her during our school visits. But she will be your school counselor, and she'll talk a little bit more to you about scheduling. And if you have any questions about that, because I know it's a little bit of a different role from elementary to middle, but she'll be your counselor. And Miss Griffin is our nurse, and Miss Ball is our social worker. Currently, she's a social worker. However, this will be Miss Ball's final year. We wish her well in her retirement. And we will have a new social worker next year. So you'll be able to introduce and meet that person in the fall when you come. With that, we're going to take turns talking tonight, and whoever is talking, or a couple people, will be on the side of the screen, and we'll share as we go. First, just some general information about West Rocks. Students, when you come in to sixth grade in August, you're going to receive a letter in the mail. It's a hard copy letter. It could also be an email. We'll see what's best at the time. You're going to be given a homeroom, and it's really more of like a grouping or a team assignment, but you're broken up into three. It's either Delta 6, Alpha 6, or Beta 6. And you're going to be told the homeroom teacher and homeroom in August. And then when you come to school that first day of school, you're going to go to that homeroom and you're going to get your schedule that first day. Just like years past, we are going to have a sixth grade orientation a few days before the school starts, and that'll be in person. So you're going to come find out, if you haven't already, get your homeroom. The idea at that point would be to get your schedule and at least learn your area of the building. A couple days before school starts, it'll be a modified schedule. We'll learn about Chromebooks, passwords. We'll have some breakfast and or lunch, a meal, go to some different classes, learn about the building, and even have a little recess before we pick up in the day. So more information to come, but please anticipate a full in-person orientation a few days before school starts for all sixth graders at West Rocks. The second bullet is just like teams, really the purpose is to promote relationships between students and teachers. So if you're on Alpha 6, that has, like Miss Sable is a teacher on Alpha 6. Anybody within Alpha 6, for the most part, will have Miss Sable as an English teacher, and you have the same 4 teachers that and have all the same kids. The same goes for Beta 6 or Delta 6. However, over the course of the 3 years, there's an Alpha 7 and an Alpha 8. You may shift and change based on numbers, based on your need, based on some different things to make sure everything is balanced. The numbers are balanced, and every student gets what he or she needs regarding services, regarding music, if you're in a particular dual language program or upcoming environmental science, marine science program, which you'll hear about in just a little bit. It may shift here and there over the course of your seventh and eighth grade year. So just realize that. And again, we make decisions year to year based on enrollment, staffing, and programming. Also, we have a chapter of National Junior Honor Society at West Rocks. It's a very prestigious chapter. It really is on 5 pillars. That's what we rely on. There's leadership, service, character, and scholarship, and also perseverance. We give house awards or semester-based awards, each either quarter or semester, recognizing students at every grade level that exemplify these characteristics and traits. And really, if you do those, you are eligible for our National Junior Honor Society, which is, like I said, you give back to the community. We participate and we encourage service quite a bit. We have an upcoming spring cleanup and planting, which students are eligible for 3 hours of community service. That's in a couple weeks in a weekend. And throughout the year, you're eligible to earn service hours by selling T-shirts for breast cancer awareness in October in the cafeteria, or cleaning up different areas of the building, or working with teachers for peer tutoring for National Junior Honor Society, which is happening right now. So all of those are ways to give back and contribute. Now, with that, I'm going to turn it over to Miss Golding. She's going to talk a little bit about PBIS and PAWS, what that means here at West Rocks, because I know each elementary school has an acronym. And with that, go ahead, Miss Golding.
Hi, everyone. I think that many of you got a pencil when Dr. Reynolds or Mr. Cherbo visited, and it said that Panthers always raise their paws, the P standing for positive interactions, A for accountability, W for willingness, and S for safety. When a staff member at West Rocks sees you displaying one of those characteristics, they award you a paws card. About once a month, we open our school store called Panther Provisions, where you can turn your paws cards in for school spirit merchandise or the coveted extra recess, which allows you to go to your normal recess, but then be excused probably towards the end of the day for another extra recess with other students who also cash in their paws cards. It's like currency, so we encourage students to keep those paws cards in a safe spot and look forward to the turn-ins. We see a lot of questions or comments in the chat regarding cell phones. Just so you know that cell phones are not allowed during the day. They're to remain in lockers or in a backpack. We don't use them at recess. There's expectations there, and the first time it can be taken by a teacher, it can escalate, but we hope we won't have that problem because you'll follow the rules. The next thing, which we've also seen in our chat, is about the dress code. We dress for success at West Rocks, which means appropriate clothing and footwear at all times. We hand out a planner at the beginning of the year with a student handbook, and you can find more information about the dress code in that document.
All right, with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Richards, who's going to talk a little bit about our summer transition program.
Hey, thank you, Dr. Reynolds. Hello, future Panthers. So I'm Michael Richards. I'm a 6th grade social studies teacher in Beta House. I've been at West Rock since 2004, hence the gray hair. And I want to tell you a little bit about the summer transition program that we have. We've been running this for a number of years now. It's all generously funded through the Carver Foundation, so there is no cost to you, the families. The program, as you can see, runs July 5th to August 5th. It's 8:30 to 3:30 every day. Breakfast and lunch are included if you want them at no cost. You can see a little bit of our outline of our day there. In the morning, we have about 3 hours of academics. Kids will do math, language arts every single day. They'll also do some science, middle school prep. In the morning, all of our classes are fully staffed by certified West Rocks teachers. And every class will have one teacher as well as one paraprofessional. We then break for lunch. In the afternoon, we have our enrichment time. We do sports and crafts and games. We do trips. Last year, we went to Sky Zone. We go bowling. We'll do lots of fun stuff like that. And again, the program is fully staffed by all West Rocks teachers. It's a phenomenal way for your child to keep his or her learning going during the summer, as well as get to meet kids from the other schools. So they're a lot more comfortable when they show up for West Rocks in August. They'll get to know the building. They get to know a lot of the teachers. They'll get to practice their lockers, which I know Dr. Reynolds is going to talk about later, which I know is a big anxiety-producing moment for some of the students. If you need to sign up, I would do so quickly. We already have 58 students enrolled for the summer. We are capped at somewhere between 65 and 70, so we are pretty close to full. So if you have not signed up yet, I would go onto the West Rocks page, and it's under for families to sign up. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me on my school email. I was hoping to be there on Saturday for the food truck event, but something came up today that's going to prevent me from showing up. So if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out, and I look forward to seeing all you hopefully this summer, if not in the fall.
Thank you, Mr. Richards. So before we transition, just to reiterate, Richards m@norwalkps.org. You can find his email on the website. Mr. Richards is in charge of that, and as he said, it is filling up fast. So if you are interested in doing that, it will be capped each year. Unfortunately, we do cap out, which is a good thing. However, if you really are interested, make sure you do that as soon as possible. With that, Powerschool Parent Portal. I know some people are used to it. Others, this will be new. So I'd like to turn it over to Miss Sable.
20th class at West Rocks next year. So I'm looking forward to meeting all of you. So this slide is about our parent portal and Powerschool. And as you know, communication with school is really important to be successful in school. So Powerschool will have, all parents will have access to Powerschool. And in Powerschool, teachers post assignments, grades, comments. We do interim comments. We do report card comments. You can actually email the teachers right from Powerschool if you have a question about an assignment. And teachers usually update it every week, so it's very current. And it's a great way for students to also advocate for themselves and to look at their grades and see what they've done well and what they can improve upon, or any missing assignments that they have. And you can access that right through the Norwalk Public Schools website under families.
Great, thank you. So with that, again, some parents, especially if you have older children, or this may be the first one, you'll get an access code letter, so you can log in and you'll have to create an account. It'll be assigned based on your child, but it is something that we utilize quite a bit. With that said, this is actually an image from Powerschool, because your child's schedule, grades, all of that is housed there. And with that, I'll turn it over to our 6th grade counselor, Ms. DeCherbo.
Hi, everyone. I'm very excited to work with you. As Dr. Reynolds said, I am the 6th grade counselor next year, but I want you all to know that we will stay together through your time in middle school. So I'm the 6th grade counselor next year, but then I'll be the 7th grade counselor and the 8th grade counselor the following year. So we will stay together until you go to high school. So as you see on the screen there, we have a sample student schedule. Every morning we start with homeroom. Even though that looks like it's towards the end of the day, we do start with homeroom every morning, where we do the Panther news. You saw a little bit of how that starts when we started our presentation tonight. And then we have our core academic classes. So every day you will have ELA, English Language Arts, a math class, science, social studies, SRBI enrichment, have world language, and then you'll have your related arts or elective classes. So that might be band, chorus, orchestra, art class, family and consumer science, electronic music, digital media, media science. So we have lots of different options there. And you'll see on the schedule, we have A day and B day, and we alternate back and forth between those classes. Our year is broken up into semesters. Semester 1 is from the beginning of the year until January. And then semester 2 is January till the end of the year. And then we have 4 quarters. So each quarter you get a report card, and we're going to talk a little bit about grading in middle school because that is a little bit different. So as Ms. Sable and Dr. Reynolds said, Powerschool is going to be a really important tool for parents and students to monitor grades and attendance. So as we start the school year next year, if you do not have access, please reach out to me because I can give you your access letter and get you started with your account.
Great. With that, speaking of grades, or speaking of classes, this is a sample report card. And to talk a little bit more about that is our assistant principal, Mrs. Amaral.
Well, good evening, everyone. I am so happy to be with you and very excited that all of you are going to be joining us next year as 6th graders. So welcome, welcome. I have the pleasure to talk to you about a couple of things. One of them is report cards. Your report card in middle school is going to look a little bit different than what you're used to at your elementary school. So in middle school, we start preparing you for high school and college, and we start using a different grading system than you're used to. And we're going to shift away from the standards-based grading that you have had throughout your elementary school, and we're going to start using numbers and letters. And you'll see that for every letter, there is a range of numbers that signifies that particular letter grade. So as you're coming into the different classes, each of your teachers will be giving you grades for your classwork, for your homework, for tests and quizzes, and they get averaged together, and that creates a quarter grade that gets sent home to your families. Just as Ms. DeCherbo and Ms. Sable spoke earlier, Powerschool is where all of your grades are housed as well as your assignments. So you can check on your grades regularly. Both students and parents have access to that, but it is at the end of the quarter that report cards will be sent home, and you'll be able to see the grade for each of the classes as well as a comment from the teachers. Students, you also get effort grades. So it's really important not only to always do your best, but also to keep trying. So those are all very important factors for your report card. And I'm also going to talk to you a little bit about some of the classes that we're offering for all students. So just like Ms. DeCherbo was explaining the schedule, every student is going to have 4 core classes every day. So every day you're going to go to language arts, to math, science, and social studies. We also have world language every day. So students will have Spanish, and the level of Spanish is determined based on your background in Spanish. And then you have related arts that alternates between an A and a B cycle. So for example, you may have band on A day, and perhaps you'll have family consumer science on B day. Those are all parts of your schedule that you'll get on your first day of school. Some of the related arts that we're offering, like I said, Spanish, we have band, orchestra, piano, chorus, theater arts, family consumer science, broadcast journalism, robotics, PE, everybody gets physical education. In one of the quarters, everyone does take health for 1 quarter. We also have digital literacy and media science that are available as related arts. I do want to also highlight that all of our students from Silvermine, I was very happy to visit with you just a couple of weeks ago, but I want to remind you too that students that are at Silvermine, we are going to continue the dual language program for the 6th graders. So you have a specialized program where 2 of your classes will be taught in Spanish. So you're going to have a Spanish science class and a Spanish social studies class, as well as taking your language arts and your math, just like everybody else. So it's going to be very exciting to see how you develop in the Spanish. And then we are very happy to announce that we are starting a partnership with the Maritime Center next year, and we are going to start an environmental marine science program that is going to be brand new to all of us, and there's going to be more information coming just in the next few weeks. So I'm so happy to see all of you, and I can't wait. I will be back towards the end with Dr. Reynolds for any questions. So as you are dropping your questions in, I'm not ignoring you, but some of them will be answered in a few minutes. So anything that's not been answered, I will make sure that we get to by the end. Thank you, Dr. Reynolds.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. Very excited. And actually our students right now over the next 2 months are going to visit, every student is going to visit Maritime. Our 6th and 7th graders are actually going to go out on the vessel. 6th graders are going to be next week. 7th graders are going to be in the beginning of June. And our 8th graders are going to be able to visit Maritime, go in the 4D movie theater just to experience it before we launch into our full-on program next year. So very excited about that. Just a couple other quick things outside of classes. We are in the middle of our spring intramural sports season right now, and we offer a fall, winter, spring, both competitive travel intramural sports as well as inside West Rocks sports. So in the fall, we anticipate football and hockey, either floor hockey or field hockey. We also have boys and girls basketball in the winter, and then we're in the middle of soccer and volleyball in the spring. Those are our travel programs. And then the intramurals for West Rocks, we have ping pong, dodgeball, basketball, depending on the season, a lot of other varieties. So I know sports are a big deal. We have West Rocks Pride. Today we played Rowton. I am happy to say that our soccer team did beat Rowton 4-1, bringing us to a 2-0 record. Go Panthers. We did unfortunately suffer a close defeat to Rowton 2-1 in volleyball. So that evens our record at 1-1. So if you're excited about sports and intramurals and after school activities, stay tuned because next year is going to be great for you too. With that, also, I know one of our highlights is the drama club. With that, I'd like to bring back Ms. Golding just to talk a little bit about drama.
Thank you, Dr. Reynolds. We just put on Legally Blonde Jr. at the beginning of April. It was nice to return to live theater. I know many of you, especially I think our Cranberry folks, have had some experience doing some musical theater in elementary school. We usually have auditions early on in the fall, end of September, early October. We rehearse a couple afternoons a week, and then the show is usually in March, April-ish. We usually have about 50 to 60 students. If you like to sing and dance, you can be in the cast. If you're more of a behind the scenes type of person, there's always room for students on our stage crew. We do a whole weekend of shows. It's a lot of fun. Legally Blonde was my 12th show at West Rocks. We've done a lot of them over the years. Each year it's a different show. So stay tuned in the fall to find out what our choice is.
Great. Before we move on, I would say I noticed it. We have a gifted and talented program at West Rocks. Really proud of it. So if we have ongoing acceptances, and you're eligible for Gifted and Talented. It is not in your schedule necessarily, but you visit with, you visit it according to a schedule, a different schedule that rotates quarter by quarter. You're able to participate in National History Day. We have some people competing. We have some students competing in the state level this coming weekend. We have Type 3 projects where they're creating their own solution to a problem that they found and have identified. So if you are currently in Gifted and Talented or excited about the potential, we have that, and we offer it for 6th, 7th, and 8th graders at West Rocks. So here's some images, if you haven't been, just some real life West Rocks. Miss Sable, do you want to highlight a couple things?
Hello, everyone. Again, I know many of you are thinking that West Rocks is so big and it's a lot larger than your elementary schools, but I will tell you that once you are here, you are going to find your way around and you're going to love all of the space that we have here in the various classrooms. So if you're looking at the top left, that's a typical 6th grade classroom. We were very, very fortunate last year to get brand new furniture in all of our 6th grade classrooms. So these desks can be manipulated to form groups, pairs, because we do a lot of collaborative group work here at West Rocks. So that's a typical 6th grade classroom. As you move over, that's one of our art classrooms where we do lots of mural painting and lots of different types of artwork in there. In the center is our Learning Commons. And the Learning Commons, we have access for everyone. Teachers bring classes there. We have our media science and digital learning classes there. And best of all, we have a huge area of books that you can sign out from the library to enjoy reading for pleasure, reading in class. And below that is our Gifted and Talented classroom. And that's, again, another typical type of classroom. And then that's what the hallways look like, with what your locker is going to look like. And I'm going to turn the last picture over to Miss Golding so she can introduce that classroom for us.
The picture in the center of the screen with the big, bright green background is our Panther News broadcast studio. Broadcast journalism is an elective course that you can take at West Rocks. But in addition to that, some students participate in our morning announcements each day, and they go live on YouTube just like you're watching right now. So on the bottom of your screen underneath the video, it says our channel is West Rocks Panther News. If you click on that, it will bring you to pretty much every video that we've broadcasted this year, and actually I think last year too. You can watch some virtual concerts, some special presentations that we have done throughout the year. But our morning announcements is completely student run. The students are the anchors. The students are running the background, like the behind the scenes. And that cool green screen allows us to transform the studio into any virtual background that we want. So we have some really cool technology. You guys will get a Chromebook issued to you when you arrive at West Rocks that will allow you to participate in a lot of the technology classes as well as broadcast journalism. Parents, you can go on the YouTube channel as well and like it. And then this way you'll be notified as new videos pop up that you can watch. Dr. Reynolds also made reference earlier to award ceremonies. You can find some of those on our YouTube channel as well.
All right, great. Thank you. With that, I just wanted to highlight our website quickly. If you look on the top left, you'll see Panther News. That is where we go every morning just to link to what Miss Golding was talking about. That's what our homeroom teachers do. We broadcast it, and that's another way to access our Panther News each and every day. We push things out to our website. It is for those people who have been in Norwalk for a little bit. We did transition from a previous platform to this platform. So we are still in the process of migrating and getting accustomed to the ease of it. But as you scroll down to the bottom of our website, you'll see a calendar that gets updated. That's our school calendar. We do rely on it. each week on Friday, I send an email blast out, a weekly update. Each of those is then transferred and posted under the principal's message. So if you miss one, you can click it there. It is both in English and Spanish. And sometimes it has links and flyers, and I just try to keep people up to date with at least basic information. And then there's all sorts of other information there that we post. This link was posted there, and the YouTube video will also be posted there when we're done tonight under 4 families. You'll see the 5th to 6th grade open house there. In addition, right under there, I want to promote our PTA's spirit wear, because if you want to get ready for West Rocks, we do have some spirit wear. It's super cool. And if you go under 4 families, there's a fan cloth link there. And if once you click on it, I don't know if Ms. Golding, if you have that, perfect. You'll be able to see the merchandise, the spirit wear right now. We do this a couple times a year. We're working on a completely online store, but this is it. We do have a window. It does end soon. It will end next week. So get your orders in, but it will ship directly to your house. And you can fill your cart, order any size you want. It'll get shipped to you, and then you'll be all set for next year. And our PTA does get a small portion of the proceeds, so it does work a little bit like a fundraiser, but you'll get your spiritware, and it's really good stuff. It's high quality. It's brand name, and we're able to print different designs. So if you're interested in it, it does close next week. But if you want to get your fan cloth, it is on our website, and we will utilize our website throughout the year. All right. So as we are kind of moving forward and we're thinking about next year, as we indicated before, each student will get the opportunity to have a locker. Since COVID and the pandemic, prior to COVID, we assigned all students a locker. So we have enough lockers for every child to get one. If you want one, your homeroom teacher will assign you one, and you'll get a combination and your name, and it will be yours. If you do not want one and don't care to have one and prefer to have a backpack, you don't have to have one, and you can carry your backpack from class to class, including your lunch. And because you have about 6, you saw the schedule, class to class, and then you leave your bag in the class when you go to lunch and recess. You come back because the teacher locks the door, so you don't have to worry about any of those things. You just bring your lunch bag down if you bring it. So you have the option of having a locker. You don't have to. And you may start without one and say, you know what, I don't need one, I don't want one. But then maybe October, November, you want one. And that's okay too, because your homeroom teacher has all lockers that for their homeroom students, and your locker will be right next to where your homeroom is, where you go in the morning. So you will have the option for one. And if you want one, you can have one first day of school. And if you would prefer not to have one, that's okay too. With that, it's a little bit of an older video. We didn't retape it. We thought it was good. So you're going to notice a couple things. My hair's a little longer. I do have a mask on because it was a little while ago. Now we are still mask optional. So some people do, some people don't. But it is, you'll see a little bit of a different look for me. But it is a video to show you how to open a locker if you haven't. It's about two minutes long, so just bear with it. You'll get an idea of it. And everyone will get this piece of paper because it shows you a little bit how to do it. You write your numbers down for your first day of school, and we actually practice. And you'll hear from that in just a second. But at least twice, and that resets it. and I stop right on my first number, which is 21. Is that better? Can you hear it now or no? Was that better? Did you not hear the whole first part? Okay, I won't rewind the whole thing, but I'll just start to the beginning. You got the idea in the visual. Sorry about that, guys. 3 numbers. So my combination would be 21, 3, 35. So each of these comes with steps and directions. So if I was to come here, my first number is 21 on my locker 457. I would make sure to go by 0 at least twice. It could be more than that, but at least twice, and that resets it. And I stop right on my first number, which is 21. My next number is 3. So I go the other direction. I go by 21 one time, and I land right on 3. 1, 2, 3. And my last number is 35, and I turn it the opposite direction and stop right on 35. When I stop on 35, I open it, and there it is, my beautiful locker at West Rocks Middle School. Each of you is going to get this sheet. If you have a chance to practice and get a combination lock over the summer, and it'll help you. But otherwise, we have plenty of people to support. Our upperclassmen, our 7th and 8th graders support as well, including our homeroom teachers and all staff. So nothing to be nervous about, but that's what you'll be looking forward to. All right. I apologize about the beginning. I promise we actually practiced through. And we had an echo in the beginning when I practiced. And so I thought I had to mute myself, and that would prevent the echo because that's what we practiced. And sure enough, when I muted to prevent the echo, it prevented everyone from hearing it. So I apologize that we missed that first part. And I did see some of the comments that I know you missed the first part. We will practice it. It is right, left, right. It just takes a little bit of practice again. And I can post this, but that combination lock is important. With that said, one way to practice right off the bat is our Saturday pizza truck. So not tomorrow, but the next day, we will have a PTA pizza truck event from 12:30 to 3 at West Rocks. So along with the pizza truck, it is from our PTA. Adults are $10. Children 6 and under are $7. This includes pizza, drinks. There's going to be raffles, and the school is going to be open. So the school, if you're facing West Rocks, you're going to be able to go in the door all the way to the left. It's called our science wing, and actually walk through that whole first hallway, go into classrooms. The art room is there. We're going to have an art exhibit up. We will have lockers posted to practice on. So you're going to have about 10 to 12 lockers with the combination to practice that you can go right, left, right to a couple different times just so you can practice on real lockers in West Rocks if you want to come on Saturday. Another opportunity to practice is over the summer with Mr. Richards and the Carver Transition Program. So if you want to walk through on Saturday, or you want to come on, if you're coming over the summer, you can practice. But that Saturday is going to be a great time. Not only will you be able to practice lockers, you'll see the art exhibit. You'll be able to pop your head in that learning commons that Ms. Sable talked about. You'll be able to see our gifted and talented room, some of our 3D printers, our maker space, which will be open. We'll be able to walk through. You can see our new our cafeteria, which is great, best food in Norwalk, Norwalk Public Schools, and the auditorium, and then head out. So there's going to be a large portion. You'll be able to see the gym as well. Not playing any sports in there, but you can see it, walk around. We'll have some of our National Junior Honor Society students taking us through, and we'll meet lots of staff. A lot of our teachers and staff, especially our 6th grade, will be there on Saturday, so you can have fun. We'll have some music. Our jazz band is going to be there. Our orchestra is going to play, and jazz band. We'll have other music. I may or may not, depending on the crowd, take out the Gaga pit. We will see. Last time we had a fall event. We had a Gaga Pit tournament. We did have a champion who walked away with the gift card. So depending on the turnout and the weather, we may take that outside. That should be a lot of fun. But ultimately, it's a great time. It's a great way to meet staff, meet some of the other students and families that will be joining West Rocks, not only from maybe your school, your elementary school, but maybe some of the others. If you go to Silvermine, you may be able to meet somebody from Tracy or Cranberry or even Columbus if they're coming. So everybody is open, and returning students. It's not just for our incoming sixth graders. It's for all students and families. So we have had a good turnout in the past. It's a lot of fun. Weather looks good. So again, 12:30 to 3, $10 for adults, $7 for children under 6. And this includes pizza and drinks. And it is Planet Pizza. So thank you to Planet Pizza. He always does a great job, great job. So, and it's delicious. So hopefully we will see you there on Saturday. I thought everybody, all of our incoming students got these flyers. We did send them down. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to us directly. Everybody in the main office has information on it, but we will be there 12:30 to 3. You don't have to stay the whole time. You can come and go if you want to grab some pizza, meet some people, but our jazz band and orchestra will be there just and me playing. So if you want to see that too and meet Miss Jean, our band director, Mr. Ullman, our orchestra director, you can meet them as well. So please come out. Saturday will be a great time. It's a great opportunity to meet families, see West Rocks, take a tour, see some student work, all that good stuff. All right. Oh, real quick. Sorry. Miss Golding, did you want to pop on real quick? I know because this is a PTA event. Before we take questions, Miss Golding is our PTA teacher representative, and she works closely with the PTA not only once a month, but behind the scenes to connect the school. So I know you wanted to speak on behalf of the PTA.
I first want to know if the students will have a chance to meet Rocky on Saturday.
So Rocky is our Rocky the Panther is our mascot. He has made appearances. I believe the only incoming school he made the appearance at is at Tracy. I don't think he could make the trip to Cranberry. So we had, yes, Rocky. I believe Rocky is going to make an appearance. He's our mascot, and Rocky was chosen by our students, Rocky West Rocks, right? And Rocky the Boxer. So Rocky the Panther, I believe he will make an appearance.
Okay, great. Our PTA at West Rocks is wonderful. For those parents who are new to West Rocks, the PTA is a little bit different at the middle school level than it is at the elementary school level. A lot of our big school fundraisers are run by the school and not so much the PTA. But the PTA is looking to fill some positions for the 2022-2023 school year. They have a vacancy for president, vice president, treasurer, someone to lead the auction. This year, we were lucky enough to have a very successful online silent auction where the PTA raised funds for scholarships for field trips. Each grade level takes one big field trip a year, and the PTA kindly assists those grade levels with funds. And they're also looking for a Spanish translator. A few parents would be ideal to help with the PTA communications to help our families speaking Spanish, Haitian Creole, and other languages so that we can make sure that everybody is receiving the same communication. At the beginning of the year in September, I believe it's $650 to join the PTA. So I recommend that families join. We meet virtually right now once a month. The PTA also runs a Parents of West Rocks Middle School Facebook page where you can get a lot of information, ask questions, and learn about what's going on at West Rocks.
We've been fortunate enough to have really great people on our board. Our president has been there a couple of years, our treasurer, vice president, they've all been a couple of years, and we have some students moving on. We do have somebody who is still there. A couple of parents are still going to be there after a couple of years as a part of a transition. So if you are interested in being president, vice president, or treasurer, we do have some people who have been in those same positions for a couple of years, but will be still in the school community to be able to help and support in that transition. So it's not like, well, I've never done it, I have no idea. There will be people who have done it and are willing to help support along the way. So if you're interested, again, please reach out. And the PTA link is on our website as well. The link for our meetings, our monthly meetings, PTA meetings is on the website as well under the Four Families PTA. So all of that information, like I said, we post and use on our website. I know there have been a ton of questions in the chat. And like Miss Amaral mentioned earlier, We have the opportunity. One, I saw Mr. Cherbo just answer the question about the pizza truck. Is it behind or in front? Thank you, Mr. Cherbo. It isn't going to be in front of the school. If you look at the school all the way to the right where the globe is on the building on the outside, that's where we anticipate the pizza truck being, right in that parking lot, with some raffles set up and tables and all of that there. If you look at on that sidewalk is where the music's going to be, the orchestra, the jazz band. There'll be some activities set up and may or may not be, some balls or a gaga pit right in the middle where that grass is. And then there'll be some teachers and staff milling about, meeting, talking, and then the doors will be open, the main entrance and that door on the left. So it'll be all in front for the pizza truck. As far as dogs, we prefer dogs not to go just because of allergies. And if they're walking along on the sidewalk, I think obviously just like when we have dog walkers, that's okay. But there will be a lot of people. There's food, like I mentioned before, allergies, and you never know. I have 2 dogs myself, but because people react differently and sometimes they get nervous, we would prefer pets stay home. So I see Liv are the sports for girls and boys. We do have both. We have both co-ed sports and sports specific to boys and girls. So at this point, and again, it may shift year to year, but if it was like in this year, football is boys, field hockey is girls in the fall. There's a boys basketball team and a girls basketball team. And then there's a co-ed soccer team right now and a co-ed volleyball team. So we do have boys and girls travel sports and all of the intramurals. So if you don't travel and you're playing against West Rock students 1 or 2 days a week after school, that is all co-ed, all mixed. So you have, so everyone has the opportunity to play.
Dr. Reynolds, can I interject on some topics that were questioned earlier?
Absolutely.
So I was trying to take notes as the questions were coming up so I wouldn't interrupt, but there was a couple of questions around busing. Our busing system is the same that you have at elementary school. So usually a few days before school starts, a bus list will be posted on the Norwalk Public Schools website that will show the different bus routes that will be bringing students to West Rocks. So depending on where you live, you may or may not qualify for a bus. So if you are within walking distance, then the expectation is that you would either walk or get dropped off or picked up. But the busing is the same that you would have at your elementary school. We don't have more information on that until a few days before school starts. There was another question about free lunch or if we have to pay for lunch next year. As of right now, our breakfast and lunch is free for our students. So students do get 1 breakfast and 1 lunch. If they go back for seconds, then that would be where students may get charged something. But usually we have really, really delicious lunches and breakfasts. I have to say, the last couple of years, we really have Steve in the kitchen, who is just a master chef, and he's very good at what he does. So I think everyone's going to be very pleasantly surprised with our lunches at middle school. A couple of questions around getting directions for class. That came up 2 or 3 times. So I understand you get nervous and you're afraid that you might not find your class. But Dr. Reynolds mentioned that a few days before school starts, we are going to have an orientation for 6th grade. So if you are available and you can come to the orientation, you will be able to walk around the school and see where all of the different classes are. Even if you don't come or if you forget that first day, we have tons of teacher and staff that will be in the hallways between classes that will show you where your next class is. So you'll have a piece of paper, it'll have all of your classes with the room numbers. Our classrooms are all labeled with room numbers, and we help you get where you need to get. Usually within 1 or 2 days, everybody knows where they're going. There was a question on group projects. You guys had really good questions today, I do have to say that. Some teachers do group projects and some teachers don't. So depending on the teacher, depending on the subject, depending on the class, but we do try to get group projects as much as possible. And then my last one, and I haven't been keeping up with the last few questions, so I know Dr. Reynolds is watching because I see him smiling. There was one other question around PE for boys and girls. And just like Dr. Reynolds had talked about our sports, our PE classes are also co-ed. So I had mentioned that everyone gets PE on their schedule. So if you don't have it on an A day, you will have it on a B day. And those classes are boys and girls mixed. So we get everybody into PE class, and everyone is playing sports together. That's all I had on my list. So let's catch up on what came up next.
No, I appreciate it. I just smiled because one person asked about drama club auditions. That's not till a little bit later. Very excited. All good questions, and I appreciate Mrs. Cherabo, Miss Golding, who was behind the Panther News audition. All of those people, a lot of these questions are just being answered as they come up, which I appreciate. Thanks for giving some immediate answers. Yes, you will. At this point, we have not been changing. That's a good question. We have not been changed this year. We have not changed. We haven't changed since we went out for COVID. Since we returned, we'll wait for guidance on that if that changes. But if you were in school right now, you would not be changing.
Can I just add? If you're doing PE, the expectations, you have sneakers though. So if you don't have your sneakers with you, you're not allowed to participate. So you have to plan accordingly. So if you are not wearing sneakers, you have to bring sneakers in your backpack, or that day that you know you have gym class, make sure that you wear sneakers for the day. That's been working out. Most kids wear sneakers to school anyway, so it's not usually a very big deal.
Yeah. No, you don't have to shower.
Oh, there's a question around being late in detention. So students, the first few days, we understand that you may get lost. I'm going to put that in quotation, not really, but you may take a few extra minutes to get to class because you're not sure where you're going. Everyone is very understanding. However, if it's like November and December, you've been in school for 3 months and you know exactly where you're supposed to be, but you are late for class because you were socializing with your friends or you decided you were going to go the long way, those are not really good reasons for being late for class. So yes, you do get marked tardy and you do have a detention because we need you to get to class on time every time. If there's a good reason, or if you're with a teacher, if you're a nurse or counselor, they will give you a pass to give to your next teacher. That way you will not be marked tardy. Is anything else coming up?
Sneakers, all of those things that we can ask, and we'll talk to the PE teacher specific questions around classes. Yes, and thank you for Ms. Golding putting that in. Tardies are marked in Powerschool, just like attendance absences. So after a few of them, teachers will reach out and notify parents, but parents can log in and check tardies, and if you're showing up to class on time or not in Powerschool, just like if you're absent for a day, just like if you got 100 on an assignment or a really good grade on an assignment or didn't do well on an assignment, all of that is in Powerschool, and that's why it's really important to get on that Powerschool parent portal. It is 8 o'clock. I know we started a few minutes late, but it is 8 o'clock. At this point, we'll just take another question or two. And then if you have other questions that are just kind of spinning and you're thinking about between now and Saturday, and you come on Saturday, it'd be a great time to ask a few more of those. If you come between 12:30 and 3, and if not, and you want to ask them later, you can do that too. Whether you ask, if you want to save them over the summer, if you want to email one of us, you can find our emails too. I actually got a few emails from incoming sixth graders between when I sent an email out to everyone for this event and some others earlier in the week and even today. So thank you, a couple of those guys for replying and emailing to me. So if you want to do that, feel free. Otherwise, like I see some questions around sports schedule, all that stuff will come, and you'll get that when you enter West Rocks as you come up. I do see a question around transition. Thank you, Mr. Cherbo. Breakfast free. So just like Ms. Amaral said, as of now, and even before we went out in COVID, we were all free. So all students received one free breakfast and one free lunch. So we do anticipate that next year, but we'll wait and see. All right. With that, thank you so much for joining us tonight. And like I said before, we will save this. It will be a YouTube video, just like all of our others on our YouTube channel. It will come up in a link, and when it is ready, we will post it under For Families and you'll see that link just for the video, so you can access it. You can forward it, you can share it, and if some of your friends or family or peers weren't able to come tonight but wanted to find out some information, you can share that link as well. Also, that fan cloth link for Spirit Wear will be underneath this on the website under For Families. You'll see the fan cloth Spirit Wear. So if you're interested in that, and I'll end with if hopefully we see you on Saturday at 12:30. Bye, guys. Have a good night. Can't wait for you guys to be Panthers.
Bye.